welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a cheesecake. I absolutely love cheesecake, but we're pretty much dairy-free for the most part, so I only make this once a year. And this is, I took it from a recipe that said New Year's cheesecake, and then I, quote, keto-fied it. And I like this recipe because I don't use any xylitol, which is the only crystal sweetener that we can use. Neither one of us can tolerate erythritol or allulose. We have severe reactions to them. So I like making this because it's just done with stevia glycerite and I don't have to be that careful with my cats. So we start off with 5 packages of cream cheese. And I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese because, as I said, I only make this once a year and I'm not going to skimp on it. There are other cream cheeses that are lower in fat, but you know, once a year, I'm good. So I'm going to put this on my KitchenAid stand mixer, and I was trying to determine how old this mixer is, and it's at least 30 years old, probably closer to 35 or 40 years old. I love to cook, if you haven't noticed, and I love kitchen gadgets. So when I buy a kitchen gadget, I buy a good one that lasts a long time. I have the paddle attachment on, and this is softened cream cheese. It's been out of the refrigerator for a while. And we're just going to beat that up until it's creamy. So you can see, I think you can see, it's nice and fluffy. So now to this, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Again, since this has dairy in it, I'm not going to worry about heavy cream. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Salt? Yes, salt. Salt helps bring out the flavor of sweet things. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Gives it a nice tangy flavor. Teaspoon of vanilla extract, but before I do that, I'm going to put my sweetener. As I said, I use stevia, and I normally use this unflavored stevia glycerite, better stevia that I get off of Wellevate. And then I was going to use either French vanilla or English toffee flavor. Again, I get these on Wellevate, but then I decided I think I'm going to use lemon. I got this new flavor. Wellevate has about 20 different flavors. Chocolate, berry. So I'm going to actually use lemon twist, and I'm going to use a teaspoon of that because this is the only sweetener that we have. Hopefully it will taste good because I've never used that before. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. Now you're going to beat this for 2 minutes. Now I'm going to add the 2 egg, I'm going to put this down, egg yolks. And as you can all see, I did get rubber spatulas. People keep telling me, you need to use rubber spatulas, not spoons. So, I'm trying it. I don't really like them as well. So you beat that till it's incorporated. And then you add the eggs one at a time. And then just make sure all the cream cheese is incorporated. And so I have, it calls her a springform pan. I don't use springform pans. This is called Fat Daddy's, and it lifts up like this. It's a professional grade cheese pan, and I love it. I used to use some of those that you have the little thing you take, and I could always never get it on right, and then it would start chipping and going in. So what you do is You spray this, especially the sides. I'm going to be putting parchment paper on, so the bottom doesn't matter so much, but make sure the sides. And I don't have coconut oil, I only have olive oil spray, so I'm using olive oil spray, but that's okay because I love olive oil. Whoops. And this is a 9-inch pan. And so I have these, you can buy these on Amazon, that they're parchment paper that fit right in. And that way it's going to be easier to take out. So then you just pour it in. So now what you do is just tap it lightly a few times. This will get all the air bubbles out. I have my pizza pan. I usually use a baking sheet, but I didn't have one that would fit in well, so I'm just going to put this on the pizza pan. And I do this just because it's easier to carry to the stove. I'm going to put it in the stove on the lower rack, and it's going to cook for 1.5 to 2 hours. So it'll be a while. In the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm going to start the topping. And I'm going to top this with either my blueberry jam or my strawberry jam. So I'm going to make both of those today. So I have thawed out both blueberries and strawberries. And I like these wild blueberries. They're small. I usually, I think it's Wyman's that I usually get. And they're juicier and just sweeter than the larger blueberries. So you just pour these in to the blender. Blueberries, and puree them. Just put them in pour this into a small saucepan, and this will cook on low heat for 1.5 to 2 hours. Now we'll do the strawberry. I'll just rinse this out. It doesn't have to be extremely clean because it's just blueberries in here. And you do the same thing, you just blend it up. And this will also take 1.5 to 2 hours. What you're doing is you're reducing it. There's no added sugar, nothing but just berries, and it will come out just like jam. It's amazing. So this I'll put on the stove for 1.5 to 2 hours. The cheesecake is in there for 1.5 to 2 hours, so I'll see you back at that time. So I just took the cheesecake out of the oven. It was sitting in the oven with the door open for an hour. And if you notice, it's not really cracking yet. It's not to say that it won't crack, but I don't really care if it does. It still tastes good. So you take it out of the oven, close the oven door, all that, and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then you want to loosen it from the sides so it doesn't stick. And then you want to take it off. And that's why you loosen it, so that you can then remove it from the pan. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Oh, I cannot wait to dig into this. But it's a little too warm to eat, but it's just warm to the touch. It's not hot. And then we have the toppings. Here is the blueberry jam and the strawberry jam. What you could do is, you could cover the whole thing. If you want it all blueberry, just cover the whole thing with either the strawberry or the blueberry. But I'm not sure I want to do that for this one, so I will put it on each piece as we eat it. So if Carl wants strawberry, he can have strawberry. If I want blueberry, I can have blueberry. So I'm going to let this cool down, then I'm going to refrigerate it, and we'll come back and taste it. So the cheesecake has been in the refrigerator for 1.5 hours, and I just can't wait any longer. Normally I like to wait a little longer, but We're going to try this. If it's a disaster, well, you know I'm really good with disasters in the kitchen. So, and we're going to have one with strawberry and one with blueberry. And I'm going to taste each one, and then Carl's going to taste each one. First, we'll put strawberry. See how thick that is? That's just so amazing. Oh, nice blueberry strawberry jam. Well, this one doesn't look very pretty, but, you know, it's gonna taste great. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I might just stop filming right here and just eat. I love cheesecake. That is so good. Oh, now it's Carl's turn to test them and taste them. I should have made him go first, so then I could have eaten more, but it's Carl's turn.
Well, this better be good. I don't know. I'm not a dairy guy, but we'll see. Tough test, huh? We all love dairy for a reason. That's amazing. You kind of leave your body when you have this and you have to come back to comment. That's wonderful. It really is wonderful. It's dairy. We don't have much dairy once or twice a year, but this is dairy. Be forewarned. But it tastes great.